hear that? The moon just spoke!
I'm not hearing things, am I? The Master of Elation is here?
Hurry, make a wish. It might actually come true.
Hang on. This isn't right. Is it? Oh, that winking moon up there in the sky. It just spoke. For real. Oh, hey, it wasn't just me, was it? You heard that too, right?
I heard it too. That's why I came straight back for you. The winner of these Phantasm Moon games shall inherit all my authority and become the true, permanent Eon of Elation. Which means... Precisely. Aha has raised the stakes. The final winner will inherit the authority of Elation itself.
Are you serious? This is so wild. It doesn't even feel real anymore.
Every time a path has vanished or been absorbed, the cosmic turmoil has lasted for dozens of Amber eras. The transfer of an Eon's divine authority. How could that ever amount to a mere wager, lightly traded in a single world's game? Basically, unless what the Phantasm Moon said is some cruel joke or a play on words, once the games are over, a new god will be born. One of unknown identity, unknown morality, and unknown purpose. They won't be a guest with a 1-minute pass to the Elation theme park. They will be its new owner. They may spread good fortune and steer the great wheel of the cosmos toward hope. Or they may be a god of utter malice, mocking all who stand against the destruction, intent on dragging the universe into an abyss of despair. You wished that if you won the Phantasm Moon games, Aha would become the new leader of the Anti-Destruction Alliance. Perhaps Aha heard your idea and decided to pack up and flee in the middle of the night. No way! It's Baseball, Raccoon, March Bunny, and Hime Cat in the flesh! Oh, what are they doing here?
I couldn't even get a ticket to Star Rail Fest, and now I'm seeing them right here on the street!
Whoa. Where did all these people come from?
Hey, that declaration the Phantasm Moon mentioned was about you, right? What are you gonna do? Got any kind of moon landing plans in the works?
You should just hit it with your bat! Send that thing spinning into a black hole at the edge of the cosmos! You smash anyone who stands in your way with that bat!
The way they say it makes you sound like a supervillain. Uh-oh. You don't think that fight with the Daybreak Squadron made everyone turn on us, do you?
Come on, isn't that basically your trademark? You beat the Daybreak Warriors senseless.
Oh! All these big shots from across the cosmos, fighting to the death right in our backyard.
Are you brain dead? One wrong move from them and we're in serious trouble. Just like what happened with the Herald of Death years ago.
Sign this for me, future Eon!
Yo! When you become an Eon, can I be your Emanator? We should get away from this mess. Let's head back to the Express and discuss matters there.
You're back. Himiko messaged me. She filled me in on the Star Rail Fest and the Phantasm Moon's declaration. Things really are changing fast.
Yeah, that's right. We came here to win. A bigger prize doesn't change that.
Still, the mere fact that the Phantasm Moon made a declaration is anything but ordinary.
To prevent the divine authority from falling into the wrong hands, The supplicants may go to any lengths now with their tactics and actions. After all, in most people's minds, they alone are the ones best suited to wield power. Right or wrong has little to do with it. Such is the nature of human will.
Yeah, and that may be exactly what the Phantom Moon wishes to see. A spectacular, head-on battle of ambitions.
Madam Pearl has sent a communication request to the Astral Express. Accept transmission?
It hasn't been long since we parted, and here I am disturbing you once more. My sincerest apologies.
Please, there's no need to apologize. Given the urgency of this transmission, Madam Pearl, I assume you wish to discuss the Phantom Moon's recent declaration.
Nothing manipulates people's emotions quite like that moon in the sky. A permanent handover of divine authority. It is unprecedented.
I can't help but wonder whether some malicious presence lurks behind the Phantom Moon. Still, who else but the Elation themselves could wield such control over it?
In any case, the Phantom Moon's speech has made the public realize that the power to create a god is in their hands. Their emotions, and perhaps even their wish power, are swelling to historic levels. When normal people believe power rests in their hands, their decisions tend to grow more radical and reckless. Please, be careful, and make sure to protect yourselves. It isn't required, but I advise you to limit your appearances in public spaces. The Media and Public Relations Department has been monitoring public sentiment. At present, speculation and criticism regarding the Astral Express are surging.
I've seen it online myself. Following the fight with the Daybreak Warriors, there's been no shortage of hostile commentary aimed at him. A commentary program on TV has been claiming the Express's adventures are nothing but stories fabricated by the IPC. Many believe the Astral Express is oppressing the local heroes, and some even are speculating that he is the new Herald of Death.
What the? What's wrong with these people?
These narratives are undoubtedly being amplified by media platforms steered by Full Wish. I've received a report from the Security Bureau. They tell me that many fans of the Daybreak Squadron have been stirred up and are threatening retaliation against the Express. I'll reinforce security in case agitators attempt to storm the station. That much is certain. Still, given the current volatility of public sentiment, please exercise caution and self-control. I sincerely hope that the Phantom Moon's declaration will not disrupt the goodwill between us. A greater danger still stands before us. Affairs demand my attention, so I must excuse myself. Should there be further developments, I will keep you apprised.
What do you make of the current situation?
We need to take action and put a stop to Full Wish before things get even worse. Even if I'd never joined the Phantom Moon Games, I'd still make this decision. We cannot allow her to deceive and poison innocent people in the name of happiness.
Agreed. Given the likelihood of Full Wish acting unpredictably, we should confront her with everything we have. That reminds me, I've been wondering, the happiness surgery taps into the power of abundance, yet Full Wish seems perfectly normal. Just, how did she get her hands on something so dangerous?
Perhaps it's the lingering poison left behind by the previous Herald of Death. 15 years ago, the monster who turned living flesh into his artwork would, in the heat of combat, slip into bouts of frenzied elation and delirium, the murderous mark he left behind. the bloody bloom was no mere delusion. According to his interrogation transcripts, he claimed to witness a brilliant golden tree promising him everlasting life. I cannot say whether the vision this madman claimed to see corresponds to something real, but the possibility cannot be ruled out. He claimed that in his hallucinations, the golden tree's branches coiled around him, drowning him in frenzy and pleasure. He wanted its blossoms to bloom before all, and to bring about that miracle, he was willing to slaughter without restraint. In hindsight, it's clear that the Herald of Death was a supplicant who bore the power of abundance. The tragedy he orchestrated in Planarcadia ultimately forged another version of himself. Full Wish. Right now, in Planarcadia, how many have undergone the happiness surgery and turned into potential abominations of abundance? It's a terrifying thought. Full Wish. What has happened to you over the years? Hiding behind these innocent people. What are you really trying to accomplish? I need more information about this junior of mine. I plan to head to Graphia Academy. Care to join me? If we're to investigate Full Wish, we need to examine the traces left behind from the Herald of Death incident that took place during the last Phantom Moon Games. The recollections of teachers and the student records sealed away by the school. We're bound to find a vital clue there. If you're set, let's get moving.
After that so-called dream campus experience, we've ended up back at Graphia Academy. It's almost like revisiting the place after... Wait a minute. This nostalgia isn't an after effect of the Sparksy virus, right?
Don't worry, Marge. The Department of Aberration Defense conducted a comprehensive disinfection of the campus.
That's a relief. The last thing I need is to be mid-investigation and suddenly morph into some hopping, dancing mushroom rabbit. Speaking of which, where should we begin our investigation into...
I think it's best we see my father first. It's only appropriate that we obtain permission from the Dean before proceeding with the investigation. 15 years have passed, but there should be a backup of the student files, work logs, or visitor records, and only he knows where they're stored. Let's go then, to the Dean's office.
Say yes?
I heard from the teacher that the gym teacher is sick again.
Himeko! There you are at last. The news said you got into a huge fight with those, what were they called? Warriors at the Floating Isle exhibition. And then you disappeared. Now, let me see. You're not hurt anywhere, are you? I sent you a dozen messages, and you didn't reply to a single one. Do you have any idea how worried I was? But seeing that you've come to tell me you're safe in person, I'll let this slide. If you're really so preoccupied, a message or a call would do, you know. Ah, it's you two. I saw you on the news as well. Valiantly fought, huh? These Megatron warriors don't know who they're messing with. To think they dare challenge my daughter's subordinates.
Well, now it feels like we're the underlings of Warlord Himeko or something.
In any case, I'll leave Himeko in your hands. Please try to keep her out of combat.
Stop. Every time you and he get together, the conversation somehow drifts completely off course. I'm fine. I'm good. Your daughter's no porcelain doll. We came here to...
I know. I understand. You didn't come as my daughter. Rather, I am currently speaking to the navigator of the Astral Express. But tell me, has there been progress on the new Herald of Death case? I wasn't expecting the questioning to come in rounds.
In rounds?
The Department of Aberration Defense also sent someone here before you. They inquired about Fullwish, but regrettably, I truly don't know how to answer. On one hand, I wasn't here 15 years ago. On the other, she is still considered one of our school's distinguished alumni. I'm aware that you're involved in the investigation too. So, I compiled the pertinent documents ahead of time. I hope they'll be of use to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryusuke.
Go ahead. The files are inside the archive room. Take whatever materials you need. You're always welcome. Other than the archive room, you could also try talking to Miss Dolly. She's the longest-serving faculty member here and likely knows the most.
Then we'll try the archive room. Let's go, you two. Thank you, Dad.
We should be able to find the archive room and Miss Dolly around in the Genesis classroom, right?
Oh my goodness, I thought I recognized you in the distance. Himeko, it really is you!
Miss Dolly, please forgive me for not coming to see you sooner. I've been back for a while now, but this is the first chance I've had to come see.
Don't worry about it. I'm simply happy that you cared enough to visit. I must apologize about the mask you entrusted me. In the end...
Please, I can't thank you enough for safeguarding the mask all those years.
Look at you. You haven't changed a bit. Oh, you and your friends look like you're in a hurry. Is there something you need to attend to? Foolish. The poor child who survived the Herald of Death. The school organized a fundraiser for her back then. I still remember how she bowed again and again with tears in her eyes at everyone who helped. Poor girl. Though she was lucky to have survived, her parents didn't make it. There were rumors flying around the school saying she had something to do with the Herald of Death. Otherwise, why would she be so lucky? She had good grades and a good heart. And becoming famous, she often came back to visit the school and sponsored a number of scholarship projects.
Speaking of which, do you know anything about what happened to her after she graduated from school?
I heard she went somewhere beyond the sky to further her studies after graduation. She had the chance to work for the Interastral Peace Corporation, but chose to return home and take over Seafeld TV instead, which was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Somewhere beyond the sky. Miss Dolly, do you know where she went exactly?
I never heard. However, she pushed out many projects after taking over the TV station and managed to expand their business to the whole of Planarcadia in just a few years. That is all I know.
Thank you, Ms. Dolly, for your intel.
The Business Club's looking for new members. Anyone interested? Ugh, the atmosphere in this archive room is giving me the creeps. It's so gloomy. Almost like we've stumbled into Fixtroll Garden.
It was like this 15 years ago as well. The archives tracked all academic results. Near the final exams, students dissatisfied with their abilities often poured their frustration into painting unsettling things. There's a lot of data stored here. Aside from what my father organized for us, let's explore the other areas as well. If possible, keep an eye out for clues regarding Full Wish's life after graduation. She returned to her alma mater frequently, so there must be records of her visits. Dabbling in technology related to the abundance. Where exactly did she acquire it? Perhaps her past holds a clue.
Garden Star of Botanical Study. Cognitive science research. Miss Dolly mentioned that Full Wish went beyond the sky to study after graduation. Turns out, this is where she went. Let's go chat with the others.
Well, did you find anything? Garden Star of Botanical Study? It appears to be a greenhouse world located within the Consternation Star Zone. Ah, found it. Its property ownership is registered under a specific school within the Intelligentsia Guild. Strange. The name of the school is encrypted. I've heard conspiracy theories claiming the Herald of Death from 15 years ago was actually someone from the IPC, given the great lengths the IPC went to in wiping away all traces after the incident. Perhaps the rumors are true.
Full Wish was hurt by the Herald of Death. Yet after studying in an institution funded by the IPC, she became a suspect in the new Herald of Death incident. I know the guys from the Strategic Investment Department have been nice to us, but whenever something bad goes down in the cosmos, the first thing everyone thinks is the IPC did it, right? Himeko, do you think Pearl might be planning something nasty for this Phantom Moon Games too?
As a member of the IPC, Pearl clearly won't reveal everything she knows to us. However, I'm inclined to believe she bears us no ill will. After all, the crisis Full Wish might be plotting would completely overturn the IPC's order here, and that would serve her no benefit. I'm more inclined to think that after witnessing the power of the Herald of Death, she resolved to uncover the truth behind it. That's why she went to another world to study after graduation. If the power of the abundance used in the happiness surgery stems from the Herald of Death's lingering poison, would the IPC, who have tried to hide this in every way possible, really be unaware of her actions? Perhaps I should contact her as a fellow alumna and have an open, honest talk.
Contact Full Wish as her senior? After all this time, would she even want to see you?
I don't know. Back then, I had taken a leave of absence from university due to health issues. So I was doing some idle work at my father's school to clear my mind. Full Wish would occasionally run to the library to slack off. She and Belle always appeared together, helping me organize newspaper clippings and library cards, all while chattering on about classmates' crushes and the latest gossip. They didn't treat me like a patient who needed special care, nor did they treat me like the dean's daughter. We often shared snacks brought from home and secretly dug out the school's collection of ancient books and paintings to admire them. Full Wish, she was the model student, always knowing a little more than everyone else. Her questions often went beyond the textbooks, pushing past the boundaries of what someone her age should know. When she looked through those illustrations of Imagine, her eyes would always sparkle. I could feel the passion in her eyes, and an unspeakable sense of loneliness. If she still remembers our old friendship, she will meet me. Full Wish is walking a dangerous path right now, and the deeper someone walks into the abyss, the more they crave the recognition and understanding of old friends. I want to ask her myself, why has the happiness she pursues become an illusion that can only be maintained by a taboo surgery?
Me too.
Thank you, you too. And thank you for your investigation. Though many questions remain unanswered, at least I now have a clearer picture of her movements after graduation. By the way, before we leave the school, there's one more place I'd like to visit. Before I meet Full Wish, I want to say goodbye to that memory from 15 years ago.
You mean that old school building from 15 years ago?
We have all the clues we need, and the culprit is...
I'm so sorry. I just couldn't finish tidying up the ribbons, and now I've dragged you into staying this late.
Don't worry about it, Belle. It was my turn on duty today anyway.
Himeko? Is this?
Yes. In this imaginated classroom, the after images of the students from 15 years ago still linger in their original places.
Tomorrow is the school anniversary. I wonder how lively it will be. They've invited parents here. Will your parents be coming? Oh, Full Wish?
That's Full Wish from her youth.
Yeah, Dad already took time off. By now he's probably out on the streets with Mom, picking out formal wear. If it's my daughter's performance, we have to dress to the nines. That's just like him. He always loves making those kinds of jokes.
Then you'd better put on a good show, huh?
There won't be a show anymore, Belle. Because unexpected guests have arrived. Everyone from the Astral Express and Himiko. I didn't expect to meet you here. Did you enjoy yourselves at Star Rail Fest? Did you grant those smiling kids their wishes and bring joy to everyone?
Full wish.
Himiko, you recognized me at just a glance. I thought Himiko was at school like the rest of us that day. When I saw Belle lying in a pool of blood, when I was crushed under the collapsed wall and unable to breathe, the thought crossed my mind.
Poor Himiko. If you had met the Herald of Death with that delicate frame of yours. But who would have guessed? You're alive and living quite well.
You became the navigator of the Astral Express, roaming freely beyond the sky, just like the three of us used to talk about in our chats. Congratulations are in order. Himiko, do you know 15 years have passed? And my wounds have moved. Regrettably, there are some scars and emptiness that time can never heal. Look around. Even here, even with these phantoms, their seats are still empty. Belle, Leon, Ziania, Mia, and so many others. 15 years have passed, and I've learned that time isn't a cure. It's a shroud, binding itself around me, layer. So I made a decision. I'm going to tear it open. I'm going to let everything bloody and unforgettable beneath it see the light of day again.
See the light of day? You were a victim of the Herald of Death, only to become the second Herald of Death yourself? You intend to use a power you can't possibly comprehend to win the Phantasmoon games. How are you any different from that monster back then? From the monster that took your parents' lives? I'm sorry. I shouldn't compare you to that devil. You still have a chance. Stop this now.
Stop? I'm sorry. I don't quite understand what you're saying. I would advise everyone to think twice before making rash accusations. As a media professional, let me give you a piece of advice. From now on, when you're in front of a camera lens, watch your expressions and be cautious with your words and actions. At the very least, try not to look so flustered during this public exchange. We live in a world where we are constantly gazed upon and watched by others. This camera crew was originally prepared for my upcoming speech, but meeting you all here, it really adds a wonderful dramatic flair. To the audience watching from your screens, you know my name, and I know that right now, you are watching me. 15 years ago, with the tacit approval of the IPC and the Arcadia Council, the master of Elation's divine ritual degenerated into a barbaric, bloody game.